Let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed how some people walk into a room, and it feels like they already know life is going to treat them well? Like the deal will go through, the problem will pass, the opportunity will knock. You see it in their posture, hear it in their tone, and feel it in their attitude. You want to know their secret. They act as if everything always works out. When you act as if everything always works out, it's not about being naive or pretending problems don't exist. It's about choosing a powerful belief system, one that says, no matter what happens, I'll adapt, I'll learn, and I'll rise. This mindset isn't based on luck. It's rooted in experience, intention, and emotional maturity. People who succeed at high levels don't have easier lives. They've simply trained themselves to expect resolution instead of disaster. They've conditioned their minds to respond with calm instead of panic. This belief, what we call strategic belief, is your starting point. It's the quiet confidence that says, I've been through worse and I'm still here. Or even, I don't have all the answers yet, but I know the answers are out there and I will find them. That belief isn't magic. It doesn't remove struggle. What it does is change your relationship with the struggle. You stop seeing setbacks as proof of failure and start seeing them as part of the process. You begin to understand that growth often looks like chaos in the middle but clarity at the end. People who act as if everything always works out walk with a sense of peace. It's not arrogance, it's inner preparation, and preparation brings power. When you believe the outcome will serve you, even if it's not the one you expected, you free yourself to move forward without fear. That mental freedom gives birth to creativity, boldness, and strength. And with those three ingredients, you can tackle almost anything life throws your way. It all begins with belief, a belief you choose, practice, and protect daily. Because in life, your belief is often the blueprint for your result, and believing it will all work out gives you the courage to make sure it does. Your attitude is the silent architect of your future. It shapes how you see the world, how you respond to challenges, and how the world responds to you. When you choose to act as if everything always works out, you're not ignoring reality, you're shaping it. Your mindset begins to influence your behavior. You carry yourself with more confidence, speak with more clarity, and act with more purpose. And that presence, your energies, starts to change the way people and opportunities respond to you. People naturally trust and follow someone who appears grounded, hopeful, and determined. Why? Because most are lost in fear, worry, and doubt. When you show up with composure and certainty, even in the face of uncertainty, you stand out. You become magnetic. Opportunities tend to flow toward those who are prepared to receive them, and your attitude is the first signal that you're ready. There's a simple truth in life. You get more of what you focus on. Focus on stress, and stress multiplies. Focus on solutions, and they start appearing. When your attitude is wired to expect the best, you begin to notice options, resources, and paths that others overlook. You stop reacting and start creating. And once you become a creator of your outcomes rather than a victim of your circumstances, your life begins to shift. Attitude isn't just a feeling, it's a force. It leads your thoughts, fuels your actions, and defines your results. If you wake up each day and choose to approach it with the mindset that things will work out, you will find the courage to keep moving forward, even when the road isn't clear. That's how progress is made, not in perfection, but in posture. In the way you show up to life with belief instead of fear. What you expect from life has a powerful influence on how you prepare for it. Most people want success, but they don't prepare like they expect it. They prepare halfway, filled with hesitation and doubt. But those who act as if everything always works out take a different approach. They prepare fully, they study more, show up early, follow through, and stay alert. Not because they're guaranteed success, but because they expect it. And that expectation turns preparation into a habit, not a reaction. Expectation is the seed and preparation is the water. You can't grow anything great without both. When you start believing that good things are coming, no matter how tough things look, You begin to align your actions with that belief. You put in more effort, pay closer attention, and stay open to opportunity. Why? Because you're no longer preparing out of fear of failure. You're preparing in anticipation of success. That shift creates momentum. You start reading that extra book, making that extra call, taking that extra step. Because you're no longer just trying not to lose. You're working to win, and that energy is contagious. People notice. Doors open. Help shows up. Not always instantly, but consistently enough to prove that your preparation isn't in vain. When you expect failure, you hesitate. But when you expect success, you move. You move with direction, intention, and purpose. And those who move with purpose tend to arrive where they're going. Not by accident, but by design. The truth is, life responds to preparation. But preparation only happens when expectation leads the way. So if you want to see more doors open, start expecting them to. Then go prepare like you believe they're already on the way. That's how success begins. First in your mind, then in your actions. Confidence isn't something you wait for. It's something you build. And the tool you use to build it is action. When you act as if everything always works out, you naturally take more steps forward. You stop waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, or the perfect feeling. You begin moving, even if you're unsure, and through that motion you start learning. You discover what works, what doesn't, and most importantly, what you're capable of handling. That process strengthens you in a way no book or motivational quote ever could. Real confidence is born when you step into situations that stretch you, not when everything is clear, but when nothing is, when you choose to act instead of overthink. Each time you act, even imperfectly, you prove to yourself that you're not frozen by fear. That proof adds a brick to the foundation of your confidence. Brick by brick, choice by choice, your belief in yourself gets stronger. Most people think confidence is a feeling that shows up first. But it's the reward, not the prerequisite. You earn it. You earn it by doing the uncomfortable, the uncertain, the difficult, and then realizing you survived, and not just survived, but grew. This is why people who act like everything always works out often radiate assurance. Because their belief pushed them into action, and their action gave them evidence. Confidence built this way isn't shallow. It's not ego or arrogance. It's earned security. And when you've earned it, you don't just walk differently. You decide differently, speak differently, and lead differently. The more you act, the more you become. So if you want to feel unstoppable, don't wait to feel ready. Just act. And let action carry you toward the version of you that's already prepared to win. Belief is not just a thought, it's energy. And that energy flows into everything you do. When you truly believe that things will work out, your whole approach shifts. You stop acting from a place of fear and start operating from a place of trust. That trust fuels better decisions, clearer thinking, and calmer responses. It gives you room to think creatively, to take chances, and to remain centered even when things around you are unstable. When people operate from doubt, their energy becomes scattered. They hesitate, they second, guess, they hold back, but belief brings focus. It sharpens your mind and gives you the drive to keep moving forward even when results are slow. You begin to conserve your emotional energy because you're no longer consumed by panic. You're focused on the outcome, not the obstacle. You see, belief isn't passive, it's active. When you believe it will all work out, you show up earlier, stay longer, and push harder, not out of desperation, but out of alignment. You're no longer hustling for survival. You're flowing in purpose. That kind of energy is powerful. It draws people in. It opens doors. It creates moments of luck that are really just the result of consistent effort powered by belief. And yes, belief will be tested. Things won't always go smoothly, but that's where the power lies. Even when you're knocked off course, your belief becomes the compass that gets you back on track. It whispers, "Keep going. You're closer than you think." That energy, that calm confidence, becomes your superpower. When others fold, you endure. When others retreat, you rise. Because when you believe things are working in your favor, your energy becomes unstoppable, and your results begin to reflect the strength of that belief. Most people give up too soon, not because they lack talent or opportunity, but because they lose faith in the process. When you act as if everything always works out, you develop a quiet strength that helps you endure. You begin to understand that setbacks aren't signs to stop. They're simply signals to adjust. That kind of mindset builds persistence. You stop expecting smooth roads and start trusting your ability to walk through rough terrain. You no longer quit at the first sign of resistance, because you've already decided that the outcome is worth the effort. There's a deep power in believing that things are unfolding in your favor, even when the results aren't visible yet. It gives you the patience to wait and the courage to keep trying. Most of the time, success isn't about being the smartest or the fastest. It's about being the one who didn't walk away. And the fuel for that kind of endurance is belief. When you act as if things will work out, you hold on longer, push harder, and stay focused when others get distracted. The truth is, almost every breakthrough is preceded by frustration, failure, or silence. And those who achieve it are the ones who stayed long enough to see the shift. Acting as if everything always works out doesn't mean you deny the struggle. It means you trust that the struggle is part of the process. That mindset turns obstacles into stepping stones. It keeps you grounded even when the storm hits. Persistence is a muscle, and belief is what strengthens it. When you tell yourself, it's working, even if I can't see it yet, you train your mind to endure. And when you endure long enough, life eventually rewards the one who refused to give up too early.